Hi everyone, it's Dr. Dave Morris with Magnolia Medical Center. Tonight we're going to go over a little bit of a different topic. Honest to God truth is you, the consumer of healthcare, are being lied to every day and you don't even know what's happening. I'm going to give you one example of the corruption between the FDA and the pharmaceutical companies. This is just one example. There's hundreds of these examples. It happens all the time. Lobbying and our government and the FDA are out to make pharmaceutical companies a ton of money. So I'm going to give you one example. A proton pump inhibitor is a medication people take because they've been diagnosed with acid reflux, GERD, something like that. So people take Prilosec or Nexium or any number of different types of medications called proton pump inhibitors. Now, we're going to talk about a company called Astra Zenaca for just a minute. Astra Zenaca had a patent on a medication called Prilosec. And Prilosec had two ingredients in it. And one of those ingredients was an inert ingredient, inert, which means it had no effect. It did nothing in the body. And the other ingredient was the active ingredient. Now, this is important to understand because those two ingredients were exactly the same chemical, but with two different handedness. So they're basically mirror images of each other. And one of them was inert and one of them was active. Now, this is super important because what happened is the patent on Prilosec, it used to be a prescription medication. The patent on that medication ran out. AstraZeneca was able to isolate the active ingredient, and as a result of isolating that active ingredient, they were allowed to then go back to the FDA and repatent the medication. So basically what they did is they had the active ingredient and the inactive ingredient in Prilosec. They removed the inactive ingredient and kept the active ingredient. So it's the exact same medication. Nexium and Prilosec are the exact same medication. So why, when you go to your doctor and you say, oh, Nexium only works for me, that's not true. What they did was, even in the studies, what they did was they said, well, we're going to give somebody, we're going to try this, we're going to try 20 milligrams of Prilosec against 20 milligrams of Nexium. Well, what they did is, they took out the inactive part of the Prilosec, so now they've simply doubled up on the dose of Nexium. That's all they did, was double the dose, and it was only marginally better, minuscule amount better, and they were able to get a whole new patent on it. And it's now I'm not sure about it anymore. This is a couple years ago, but what they did was now they had a prescription medication that they could charge you quadruple, maybe 100 times more because they lost the patent or the patent ran out on their other medications. So they lied to you, the consumer, and said you're going to take a different medication. It's going to be better for you. The doctors think it's a different medication when in all actuality it's the same exact medication. So when somebody goes to their doctor and says, no, Nexium works for me, Prilosec doesn't, that's not true. Prilosec is the same exact medication. It's simply the dosing. All that's happening is you're paying through the nose for the prescription versus the medication that used to be a prescription. Its patent ran out, so they relaunched the medication under a different name. Sorry, that keeps going out. Dwindled. Doesn't mean that medication can't be helpful. That's not what I'm trying to say. I have my whole opinion on these proton pump inhibitors and how bad they are for you and why they actually decrease your health. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about the fact that the FDA and the drug companies are in bed together and they're lying to you, the consumer. So listen, you need to share this with your friends. We need to share this, get this message out there that the FDA needs better. They need better rules and regulations. The pharmaceutical companies shouldn't be able to get away with lying to the American public for profit only. And I know this probably is not a foreign subject to you, but I would like it if you could share this information and get it out there. Folks, hit the like button below. Please make some comments. I appreciate you watching. Again, this is Dr. Dave Morris with Magnolia Medical Center. Bye now.